Tea Breakfast, and on this segment we've been looking at what Nigerians are talking about, but we are seeing it from the perspective of the fact that a candidate of one of the ruling political parties, APC, he's saying that in all of this, I have the solution to bring to Nigerians and see how we can make Nigeria grow and become different from how it has always been. I have in the studio a member of the APC and the lawyer, Seun Faleye, and we have been looking at all of this, dissecting the realities of the issues. Now, Seun, before we went on the break, we were talking about the Naira redesign.
Yeah.
And as it is, we have seen a lot of videos of people fighting within the banks. We've seen people even attack. In fact, the riot, the demonstration and the attacks in Ibadan, in Oyo, we saw that. In Benin, we saw that. In fact, people stripping naked in banks as a way of protesting the fact that my money is here, I can't get my money, as the case may be. Now, in all of this, some people have said that they seem to be a deliberate attempt at creating...
Are asking questions because it's believes, common sense that at the time that we're having a crucial election, some issues are agitating the peace and stability of Nigeria. I mean, what you see, whether contrived or not, is a recipe for disaster. And I'm not sure any government, any sane government, even in the guise of a good policy, would want to see that. And that's right why we're asking, why are you hell-bent on articulating these policies in this manner? Why is there fuel scarcity at this rate? And what we see is that corruption one way or the other are fighting back. We've seen Ashwaju talk about removal of fuel subsidy. So what's going on around sudden lack of availability of fuel between either the regulators and the marketers? What is going on? Do you understand? We've seen where you're really contriving to stir up people's emotion. Because when you go to the banks, when you remove people's livelihood, when you remove people's ability to send their kids to school,
they will
to eat, to do their normal business. Look, I know people that really go out in the morning to take 20,000 naira, go and buy rice, bag of rice, small rice, then divide it, sell, in those people can't do that anymore.
Went to his governor and he said, please, I have no cash. Can I have some cash? If you can give me 1 million. So there's some things I need to do, but I cannot do it. He has access to a governor. Many people don't.
Do not.
So this head of state won't come out now and say, this is the problem I have, but it's in the bush there,
yes.
Doing whatever he wants to do. But it tells us the story of how a policy can alienate the people when you think that you are trying to focus on a certain set of a certain cadre of the elite.
You see, that's one example. And, when you keep quiet in the face of tyranny, in the face of bad policies, this is what happened.
Yes.
Some of these candidates, particularly the PDP and the LP candidate, thought that the policy would be detrimental to Ashwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu by inciting the people to go against his party, his candidature, and all of that. And to be honest, we're seeing it the other way around because we're not looking, even us as supporters, the party members are looking at, what is it that this man that has promised so much, that said he will do this, he will remove fuel subsidy, he will create super cultural products, he will, increase our outputs generally, we're putting all sorts of impediments in his way. So we're hell-bent on ensuring that victory is not truncated. And then independent Nigerians are looking at, there must be something here. If all of these people even more, put things in perspective for us, that we must ensure that we get out ourselves and vote and ensure that our votes count. Like I said, I'm also seeing a lot of shifts, like from some of these polling that we've done from independent candidates, looking at, they've seen the policies articulation from all of the candidates. They've seen the person with the energy that has traversed the length and breadth of Nigeria and continue to look at the implementation, because I don't believe that he's being given the right information to make the right decision. So he should put a high-power independent panel to quickly look at the preparations leading up to this fiasco, and then, of course, it's put a stop to it now, because Nigerians are really not happy, and it could damage his legacy, I'm afraid.
Now, the economy is what it is. People cannot...
At our currency, our monetary policies, and our economic outlook. And I'm surprised that an institution that is tasked with doing that, knowing where we stand economically in terms of our growth trajectory and how delicate it is given the global, global happenings, has now resulted into stifling that growth the more. Because you have a bird's eye view on what's going on in the economy. You know how cash is important. You know how important. You are now the one that is now stifling and locking the door against people's money. It's really bad. Please tell me, if I go to the bank, and if major Nigerians or all Nigerians go to the bank today and say, look, I've given you my money. I've come the first day, second day, third day, almost a week now. You've not been able to give me. I don't think you are sound. Give me back my money. This can lead to a run on the banks, and it then leads to anarchy. Trying so hard to bring the unbanked to the banking sector, you've now done it in a way of bringing the banking to the unbanked. You have, because people are really just going to unwind to the other side and say, look, these guys cannot be trusted. You didn't want us to be putting money under our pillow. I think it's better now to be putting money under my pillow.
It's going to create what I can call cynical finance.
Yes.
It's really a scary one, the way you have painted the picture. And as it is, I wonder what the president has said, give me 7 days. Although 7 days for fuel, but Nigerians also expect that in that 7 days, let it solve not only the fuel scarcity, but let it also solve the naira issue.
Producing at least what we consume locally, and we should be servicing our neighboring countries. It's a no-brainer. And for Asiwaju, these are things he would do in a heartbeat.
Now, we are talking about the CBN man saying that he has given money to the banks. Is it not time for transparency? Let him publish how much he gave UBA, how much he gave GTB, how much he gave Zenith, how much he gave Providence or Fidelity. Let us know. Let him come out and tell us.
If you speak, and really, we should ask those questions, because this is a very, very dear time that you've lost credibility. The CBN has lost credibility in this. And what I've seen is that at little hardship or opportunity for where there's scarcity, we see ourselves also taking advantage of each other. That's why you will see a POS dispenser or POS attendant that normally charges 0.1%, now charging 20%. You understand? That's why you will see even the few money that the CBN has made available to banks, the bankers within themselves will still give some to the people that are changing money. We also must be very fair to each other. And that is very important in the scheme of things. One of the key things that an Asiwaju government will do when it comes in is the reorientation of Nigerians' mentality to be honest, to have self-esteem, to have the ability to show empathy to each other. These things are very crucial if we were to get out of some of the challenges that we face as a people.
All right, with this currency issue, how best should the CBN have gone about it? The time, also considering the timing as well, because we are approaching elections.
So the timing itself was ill thought of. At every time that we are undertaking general elections, we know as a people that the polity is usually high. The tension in the policy is high. I don't think that's the time to then introduce some form of systematic monetary change. But given that as it may, even if you introduce it, there's enough time to do that. There should be consultation. Did we consult with the governors who are the security officers in their states who understand the challenges and the peculiarities of their communities? Did we consult with the bankers? Did we even call the manufacturing association, call the small business owners, sensitize the people? Look, in India, in UK, all of these places, when they do that, it's usually a 2-3 year window where they're already, talking about it. They're already sensitizing the people. All of the dispensing channels are open, and I'm not sure that Nigerian, and one of the key things you will
done in Nigeria within the time, and he gave the president a bill, and the president signed it. He told the governors this. They signed off on it. That okay.
What is important is whether his advisors are giving him the right information and telling him the right things. Do you understand? So we believe that the president didn't have the right information, and we think those questions should be asked at the moment. Look, from the fellas that we have, MFLA is hell-bent on continuing on this trajectory. The CBN is hell-bent on continuing on this trajectory.
The Bible says says that because of one man, sin came on into the whole world. So it is possible that because of one man, suffering is all over Nigeria. So it has to take another man to stop it.
It's important because, yes, you want to stop money laundering. We know that the availability of cash outside of the public, of the banking system, fuels all of this criminality. We also know that the more we bring this money into the banking system, the banks are now able to lend more and do more. But you cannot do those things to the detriment of people. Yeah. It has to be balanced.
All right. As we wrap up generally, you have constantly told the people, vote Asiwaju, vote APC as it is. Talk to the people who are watching right now. Why is APC the party to vote?
APC is the party to vote because when you look at the people, the three candidates that have put themselves up for election as president of Nigeria, are the most competent, the most passionate, the most committed amongst them, even from some of these things that we've talked about. Somebody that has stood up to Nigeria is Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. When you look at the policy thrust of his agenda in terms of it's taking us productivity that we're looking at to enhance, I don't think that there's anybody that is capable of, of delivering on those sort of promises. I think one of the key things that I'm also very encouraged with, as from Asiwaju's perspective, is his team. When I look at the people that usually surround him, the people that he moves with, the people that he has governed with in the past, and that is most likely going to govern with when he assumes power, I'm more or less convinced that Nigeria will be in the right hands. You cannot tell me when you look at an Atiku's team or an Obi's team and look at Asiwaju's team and you think that they are in the
session of the program. We thank you for spending your morning with us. We need to let you know that the views and reaction of all our resource persons are their views and have no connection with TVC News. I will see you tomorrow. Bye now.